This is the trigger warning for our show. Please understand that various monsters had various victims and hunted in various ways depending on the folklore, mythology, or stories that were told about them. Please understand that it is not our intent to upset you. You will be given other warnings and additional warnings depending on the episode, but this is our blanket statement. We didn't write the myths, but we are using them to tell our story. Also, this is the content warning for our show. There will be cursing. There will be some interesting ideas. We will take it in where we can, but be warned, there was beer involved.
What if I told you there is a world where not only are monsters like vampires and werewolves real, but they have rights, just like you and me. And in this world, there exists a secret government organization dedicated to keeping you safe and making sure they follow the rules. Welcome to Anarium, a Monster of the Week podcast.
So we have three, for lack of a better term, human shapes standing outside of the home of Mama Teresa. The door is knocked on upon again. She comes to the door and she smiles until she sees what stands behind you. Bernard, what do? How are you consoling a friend to let her know that it's okay? What comes out of your mouth?
I say, hey, word is here. You're painting a little picture. This here is my happy little tree friend. And here's the picture. We still don't know what the fuck's going on. The laugh is out of character.
I bring you to my home to find a problem in my swamp and you bring it to my door? I would have thought better of you, Bernard.
Hey, he says nobody's been in his swamp. So that means whatever killed these people.
It's late. It's 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning. There are people out on the street, and they are looking at you guys. Please keep that in mind.
So it's late and there are people on the street?
Yep, even late. Even in this area of town, there's
It's
one or two
Louisiana,
people.
dude.
Nightlife is nightlife. Whether they be fishermen, whether they be hunters, they are out there. Mid your conversation, be aware that there are people standing around looking at you.
Okay, I see. I was 100% thinking I thought we were on this kind of big property. I didn't think
She
that
doesn't
there
have that kind of yard. That's
Okay.
not really a Louisiana thing.
So I misread the situation.
My bad.
I thought we were in a bit of there was a pull in and there was a bit of a, not gated, but I thought we had a big kind of, okay.
You have some space. You have a pull-in space to play with, but we're not talking long driveways. We're talking neighbors are close enough that you can shout from your window into theirs.
All right,
It
well,
is
I
a
won't
tighter
ask to
city.
replay my situation.
You're good. I'm perfectly okay with what you're doing. I just wanted to make
Okay.
you aware of where you
I
were at.
appreciate that. I think I would maybe like to say, could we maybe move this conversation somewhere else?
She peeks out the window. I see you out there, Travis. Keep your mind to yourself. Or I tell your mom about that thing you do at night you not want folks to know about, huh? Go. Kids today.
Yeah, that hentai.
Come in my door. Come quickly. Don't dawdle. I don't need my neighbors knowing that I'm bringing these kinds of things around. They already have questions I can't answer. As our tree man, who we will know and refer to as Orpheus, as his own name is forgotten to even him at this point, walks in the front hallway. I need him to make a cool roll. Touch some dice, boo.
Touch some fucking dice. Yeah. I'm gonna guess the 5 plus whatever's not gonna help me.
The whatever is important.
Plus minus 1.
Oh,
So
yeah,
the
no.
4.
The
I am
4
not
you
fucking
rolled means that when you get hit by the energy from the mask at the end of that hallway, you are instantly, almost physically blown back. You can feel your foot taking a step back, but unlike where Marcellus had a sense of danger and impending issue, you find yourself drawn to this thing. This thing is actually reaching out to you. What do?
First, you mark an experience.
And mark an experience point, because that could have gone very differently.
I'm with you.
And
Thank you, boys.
now that we're here, and I'm remembering this time, my major flaw as a character, as the Henderson, is kids these days. And I believe that I have the hardest life out of everyone. And that everyone needs to learn from my clearly infinite wisdom, whether they like it or not. If another hunter fails in action, and you are aware of said failure, roll act under pressure.
Okay.
On a 10 plus, I not only managed to hold back my lecturing, but I can give a +1 ongoing with some handy advice on dealing with said failure. On a 7 to 9, I say nothing. On a fail, I go into a long-winded, back in my day lecture, and both
about how you deal
myself
with
and the other hunter are chewing. Both you and the hunter, you are chewing out. Get a -1 ongoing.
So you're gonna lecture him about being magically interfaced with by an old mask on a wall?
Would he? I would ask, would you be aware
He took a
that
step
I
back.
failed?
He failed so hard that he is clearly affected.
And that's the reason I brought it up. Is like,
And Bernard has been here long enough. He knows what those masks are. He knows what's happening.
Okay, fair.
And that
Just
step back should speak volumes for our tree person that you have literally been knocked off guard.
I was just saying I wasn't trying to act. It was an encounter. That was the only argument I was making, but that makes total sense to me.
Oh, for sure. Like, I'm with you. I'm just bringing it up. I missed it the time before.
Yep.
I wasn't
Roll
gonna
that
miss it
cool.
this time.
Roll
Let's do
that
it.
cool roll. Let's see
do it.
what you do, old man.
And I have a +2. Cool.
Yes.
God, these dice are
Let's go.
weighted. I swear to
13.
God, this is such bullshit.
These guys are awesome. They're not leaving this house.
I don't even know, man. All right,
Don't let him
so
leave
you're
that
aware that he has been caught off guard by a protective mask hanging in the foyer. However, despite you wanting to look at him and tell you about the first time you went through it and how it didn't bother you that much, and he needs to grow up and put his big boy pants on because, hey, that's going to happen when you're in Louisiana, and you should know that by now because you're how old and maybe a ghost and maybe possessing a fucking tree. You hold it all in. You take a deep breath. And you take a few steps further down the hallway.
Yeah, I think maybe I take a swig as I go. Maybe it takes a little liquid courage, but I keep moving. I keep it in. And
Just think of the Progressive commercial where he's like, blue, she has blue hair, blue.
yeah, I'm able to keep it going, and that because of that, I also have a +1 going on.
All right, Rob, you are being compelled to go to this mask. What do? Do you trust it? What's your headspace?
Yeah. Sorry, so much for our major flaws. This is the first time it's popped up. So sorry.
No, these
to anyone
dice are
listening.
I
bullshit.
don't have any, so.
Like it or
Sorry-
not, these
sorry to
dice are
anyone listening,
garbage.
They're like, wait, I thought you said this was a flaw. Like, I'll be honest, this will probably be the one time.
It works out.
He rolls well.
The one time. It happened to be the first time. But anyways, continue, Rob.
I would absolutely walk to the mask. I would reach out to it, but I wouldn't touch it. And I would turn to Mama. Mama, I do not know you. But I do respect you and I do respect your title. I feel like I knew a Mama once. Can you explain me this mask? It draws me. It speaks to me, but I know not what it say.
She speaks to me as well. She says she knows you from a time. If she spends time with you, she claims that she can unlock your memories and remind you who you are. She is of my family, but she claims she knows you, which is odd. Where she came from should not have been out in the swamp. Yotuba has been in my family for many a year. Her origin is lost to time, But if she thinks she has a connection to you, and she desires to go with you and you will have her, you can take this mask with you. But I expect you to treat it as a loved one, because that is what she is to me. Overprotective and at times overbearing. But if you think it's something, and she wants to go with you, and she will not shut up about it.
I think I look at Marcellus and I'm kind of like, glad I didn't shoot it.
As you stand there, your hands reached out forward toward that mask. It pivots off its own wall to put itself in your hand. This mask, this mask of color, this mask of multiple woods as if they've been put together after carving. It is a fine quality, different style of woods put together to create color, to create an elegance. This mask is not large. It is probably around a foot, maybe a foot and a half in size, lengthwise. It's not particularly round. It's more long than it is round. But it is beautifully created. I don't even want to know. I'm just moving on.
He said more long than round.
More long than round. All right, fine. What do you do, Rob?
Mama.
Ooh, sorry. All right, I'm done. I'm serious.
He's good. He's done. He's good.
I know better.
Mama. I know I do not know you, but I know I owe you a debt. I have never heard such beauty as your tuba. I will take this with me, and I will protect it with my very life. And as I grab it, I would like to open the vines that conceal my chest. What should be heart, what should be organ, is just kind of empty space. And I would like to
Conceal it.
absorb this mask within my mass, as if where my heart was, to protect it.
I've been doing this a long time, and that was fucking weird. She walks away. You guys enter her home. It is quickly becoming morning. What would you guys like to do for a day? As you can't really go ghost hunting at night. I mean, you can't go ghost hunting during the daylight. What would you like to do?
As much as I would like to say, like, we just keep going, I need to pay attention to the fact that I'm human. I need to at least sleep for an hour or two. I need to go sleep.
Gotcha.
I guess I would probably like to try to get to understand who these people are and better understand why they were there. Perhaps Marcellus, I don't know that he needs to sleep, but I would have a conversation with him.
I think that would make sense narratively. Like, maybe I just look at him and I go, so she walked away. Am I safe to assume where I can sleep here?
Yes, you are guests.
She's given us
Guests?
free reign
as
of the
long as
downstairs.
it is on the first floor. You guys are guests. You are more than welcome to everything.
So, yeah, I think when I was like, all right, I'll let you creeps hang out or whatever it is you want to do. I'm going to go, what humans do. And I just walk away.
And you have a location. You know where the guest rooms are. Okay. You've spent the night in them before. This home is not unfamiliar to you by any means. Marcellus, Orpheus, what happens next?
I just take a seat in the main living area and just look at Orpheus and say, well, is there anything you know about out in the swamps that could be causing these people to disappear?
I have long patrolled these swamps. I feel compelled to stay close. I do know that there is more. I do not know if more is a alligator. I do know there are others who hunt this land. I am sorry I cannot offer you more, but I know that I am not alone I am the only of my kind. I assure you this.
Well, I cannot make the same assurances. There are many of my kind. Not as many with my age and prestige, but there are many stupid of my kind. If I could be so blunt.
There's a lot of assholes who like to suck blood. They're similar but different.
Yeah.
I
in
think
mind.
Bernard at this point. Oh, what?
You're asleep.
Bernard, he walks back in. He forgot his bag. He grabbed his bag.
Oh.
Sorry.
Oh, nice cover.
Hey, you guys have a good night or whatever. And he's- Sorry, I can't not be in a scene for very long. So that's,
I'm just gonna make sure I'm there. Fuck you guys.
I sense there is much more to you. I feel as if I have heard of you, but I do not know you. I assure you, I mean no harm. You do not disturb what is out there, and I will assist as I may.
Well, it's very possible you have heard of me. I don't really eat plants, so we're good. I feel like you are more just protecting your home as opposed to actively seeking out and being aggressive towards just random people that would come through there. I think they would have to do harm to some of the swamp life, I guess I could say, for you to actually act on it. You more of, I feel, just watch and wait to see what they do. Would that be correct?
Your senses are sharp, but I do not care what you eat, for I know all need to consume. I do not care for those who hunt, but I care for those who make waste. I protect my home, and I stop those who do wrong to it.
fuck yeah, Rob. Sorry, go ahead.
Is there anything else you'd like to know? And by the way, I do not mean you any harm. We work for a government agency that seeks out monstrous creatures that are doing harm to really anyone or anything that they should not be harming. And we fix the situation by whatever means necessary.
I am not familiar with this large government organization you allude.
What the fuck is a government? What the fuck is an organization?
I feel like in 600 years he would probably know what a government is. Maybe.
Out of character, I would say that I have stayed in my territory very
Moved
much.
into Louisiana.
You will
when
learn more
America
later.
Bought that area
That's
from
true.
France.
Yeah, Louisiana Purchase. Think of that. Out of character.
Yeah.
I do not know this government. I do not know your agency. I do know that if there are any who trouble my waters, defense I shall take. You seem good. I do not know you, but you are not like the others who come around here. I cannot speak for your friend, but if you vouch for him, I will give you my time. You tell me what I need to know, and I will offer you my aid.
We have a deal. What do you need to know?
What are we here for? And what can I do?
We're here to investigate why people are disappearing.
Sam and character, would I be more aware of what they might be hunting?
Yep.
I mean, if we're just conversing, what I know, this ghost that they speak of, or this entity that they're searching for?
You would be aware that it's a legend. You may have picked it up as people have walked by and whispered as they're holding flashlights and cell phones and going, "Oh my god, there's supposed to be a guy out here and his dead wife." You may have seen it a time or two. The woman who stands at the edge of the water with a lamp in her hands. You have certain references as far as what you can sense in your wilderness to know that it is something that's not a ghost. They don't know that, but you know that. It has a life, it has a pulse. It affects the land around it, but not in such a way that you felt the need to get rid of it up to this point.
I guess I would, in character, share that there is life here. I would share that nothing has threatened the balance of my ecosystem, but I don't fully understand their necessity. There are those that wish to do harm. There are those that are dealt with. I cannot speak to more than this. But I'm down to leave if it is greater good. I'm down to help.
Well, I'm in fucking bed, so you guys tell me what happens.
We can fast forward to morning. I mean, if we just had this
Night.
informal conversation.
If you want to, you
Tonight.
can fast forward through the day where now we're starting to hit evening.
Yeah,
The sun is starting to set. What would you guys like to do? Like, are we...
Hey everyone, it's me, your friendly neighborhood podcast producer, Cameron Baker, and I'm here to do what I always do, or at least I normally do, with the exception of last episode, which is talk to you and introduce you to one of my friends that I've made in the podcast community, specifically the tabletop role-playing game community. And this week, we're going to hear from the 80s tabletop role-playing game YouTube series, a friend I made on Twitter, and I really think you're going to enjoy the show, and I would super appreciate if you guys check it out. Thank you.
Thank you so much for coming to our YouTube page, 80s Tabletop RPG. I'm David DeSonis. Regularly, I'm a stand-up comedian, but right now we're not doing too much of that. So what people are doing a lot right now is playing role-playing games. And I'm a kid from the 80s, and as we know, everything was better in the 80s. So we're playing all the old-school 80s role-playing games. I think they're better than today's. We're going to be playing games like James Bond 007, games like Chill, games like Robotech. Another great game, Top Secret. I bought all these on eBay, and me and my friends, we're going to be playing them online. You can go and you can watch us play. And it's not just to be regular playing. We're going to add some graphics. We're going to add some animation to make it way more exciting. Another thing is, I think there's like 8 different kinds of superhero games. We'll be getting to those too. We'll also be going new stuff. I've never even heard of this one. It's called Daredevils. I bought this on eBay real cheap. So we'll play that one too, and you guys can check that out. We're also going to have the classic old school debate of Star Wars versus Star Trek in role-playing game form. So please click that bell and like and subscribe and watch our videos. The more you guys watch, the more we can do them, and it's going to be a good time, especially in these trying times. Thanks for watching.
All right, everybody. I really hope you enjoyed that, and I know you're going to enjoy the show more. So please go check out 80s tabletop role-playing game YouTube series. I know you're going to love it. Give it a subscribe, and keep following those guys and give them some comments and let them know games that you'd like to see. But let's get back into the show, shall we?
We can fast forward to morning. I mean, if we just had this
Night.
informal conversation.
If you want to, you
Tonight.
can fast forward through the day. We're starting to hit evening.
Yeah, I
The
would say
sun
that's
is
a good
starting to
idea.
set. What would you guys like to do? Like, are we hitting our boat route? Is our new friend Orpheus taking us out back into the bayou, into the areas and the swamps, those few miles away from town where things start to get thick? I mean, what are we looking at? What are you guys doing?
I think the boat route, since that's the only other route we didn't take
All right.
besides 66.
Route 66. Nope, yep, you guys can go. And you can pick up that boat. I do, however, need to have some inkling of how you guys are getting there with Swamp Thing in your trunk, I guess, would be the best way to ask. Like, how's that going?
Well,
I-
as far as I'm concerned, we have a human or a plant propeller. We don't have to row shit.
I guess I would ask, do we know where we are going?
You're vaguely aware. You know where a dock's at. It's been pointed at on a map. The kind of general area where people are going missing.
And we never talked to Luther, correct?
No.
That's where we're going, pretty much.
Yeah, he's at the dock.
That's the dock, yeah.
It's his boat we're trying to get.
Okay.
I guess... Do not worry about how I will arrive. You go on foot. I will meet you there. And I would adjourn to out back or just kind of out of eyeshot of anything, Sam, and use flight to get there?
Well, I was playing a character known as the Earthbound, but for character flavor and storytelling reasonings, I have given him his first level up unearned to take the flight ability that you would find under the Divine. Almost every character class has the ability to take a move from another playbook. For his character, the ability to travel through the energies of Mother Earth herself makes enough sense that his first 5 experience don't go toward a level up. Technically, he's already got it. That might be a little unorthodox, and some folks may disagree, but I firmly stand on the idea that if it's character flavor and it's needed, it's not doing us any harm. And so, yes, you can fly there, but you're going to have to give me the roll for it.
And I would also caveat that with... We've tried to keep that balanced by keeping it very water-based. So as long as I'm in the swamp or a river, a lake, a quagmire of some sort, there's going to be some better abilities to do that. I can't show up in the middle of the street of downtown New York, but maybe Central Park might be manageable. So with the flight, what is the roll for that? That would be weird with magic, yes?
I believe so, yes. Flight itself has its own interesting move.
I don't know that I wrote that down, and I may have overlooked that, and I
You
do
monster.
apologize.
How dare you, monster.
I know. You need to find better players.
Everybody else has notebooks and information written in front of them.
They certainly didn't print this shit out tonight and start writing it as we were recording.
Okay,
No.
I feel like we're hitting a weird angle here. Getting a little specific. What you got, Rob?
The flight came from... I got a 5+. If my weird's a +2, I've got a 7, but I'm trying to look for flight more specifically.
It is under the Divine playbook.
I'm trying to get there. Divine.
Mine doesn't say shit. Mine just says, you can fly.
Do what you want to do. Yep. Fly. You can fly.
You can fly.
If that's what he
literally
picks.
all it says.
But his is
Yeah, it
special.
literally says flight. You can fly. I think we were going to try to make that, again, tempered to waters
I feel
and
like
such.
that would be a weird thing.
Oh, that's
Because
weird.
Yeah, flight literally just says you can fly.
yeah.
I would think this would be more of a burrowing motion, obviously, given what we just discussed.
Well, I feel like it would be magical with your
See, yeah, I didn't.
Type
you
of
say
thing.
You have
flight
taken the
and
Well-
ability known as Angel Wings. You can go instantly to anywhere you have visited before or to a person you know well. When you
way
carry
above
one
this.
or two people with you, you need to roll plus weird. On a 10 plus, you go where you wanted. On a 7 to 9, you won't quite manage it. Either you or all of you are separated and appear in the wrong place.
So
I
he
think-
only has to roll if he's taking people with him.
Yeah.
And I
think-
told
I
them
think
I'll
that's
meet you
super-
there.
Nope, you're good. Nope, you show up
Yeah.
when they get there. They get to the boat. They meet the cousin. He is. They're like, hey, I guess you guys can play that out, right? Sorry. You arrive. It is a dock. You see your tree-like friend basically standing in the water, just kind of waiting on you. But hey, what do we do now? I'm here.
I think I get out of the car and I look disdainfully again at the leather seats.
Just don't like them leather seats.
Just don't. It's just
They're luxury.
too squeaky.
It's
a
a
Focus. It's,
it's a
not that luxury.
It's a Ford Focus with some leather seats. They're comfy. They've been enchanted.
I'm just not into it.
That's the part he doesn't like. It's been enchanted to be comfortable.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, I want this shit to be like stone. I want it to be uncomfortable. No, so I'm walking over. To
He likes sitting on rock hard things.
Candid.
Sorry, I couldn't help it.
I think I walk over to our friend. I'm like, so what is that like? Damn it, I'm blanking on the reference. Was it like 0 to. Hold on, let me stop. We go back. This is gonna be edited because I'm the actual editor. So usually when you hear this is gonna be edited, it doesn't get edited. This is actually gonna get edited. And it might get edited twice because this is a bad joke, guys. This is a bad one. I just wasted 30 seconds on a bad joke. I'm gonna say. So what is this, like 0 to 60 leaves per hour? Or... And then I just walk away.
That physically hurt.
Yeah.
Like my brain hurt from that one.
It's not great. It's not my best work.
Some of the best
Cannot
words.
explain it.
When you have to explain, the swamp man is like, when you have to explain the joke, it is not very good.
When you
Well,
have to
you're
go out on a
thinking-
limb to explain the leaf joke.
There you go.
No. I cannot explain it. I cannot tell you how it works. All I know is I have been waiting.
All right. Well, where's this Luther fella?
There's a gentleman that approaches you. He came out from one of the dockside storage areas. Mama called him in advance to let him know that you were on your way. And he takes you to the oldest, shittiest, but still floating boat that there is parked at that dock. There is probably enough room for you three to fit into it, and that's about it. On board, there's one or two gator spears, I suppose would maybe be what they've been used for. No fishing lines, no nets. It's a boat, and it will just put you right where you need to go. And it's free to use.
It's gonna
Do you
move
remember
900
the one time
pounds.
Bobby Boucher showed up at the Bourbon Bowl and the Mud Dogs won?
I do. I'm very surprised you know that reference.
There's no way in hell your tree leafy man just made a Bobby Boucher reference. Shut that shit down. No.
No.
Your
come
ass
on.
is walking around without pants on. You don't know who Bobby Boucher is, all right?
You're doing laps with Farmer Fran.
Let's take Swamp Thing down to.
I
Nick
would
Saban's
watch
territory.
Mama
Yeah.
flying through my waters.
All right, yeah. Let's please.
You have said in my waters so many.
so much.
What do you guys do in my waters? You
I
wanna see me
really wanted
downstairs
to drop
mix
a
up?
shrimp. Not in my swamp.
You ever
Oh.
drank Bailey's from a shoe?
You want to go to a club with people we on each other? At some point, we're gonna get sued if people listen to this. So I think we said that 30 references from different things in 10 seconds. All right. So we have not actively gotten on this boat yet, right?
No, you are at the dock. The keys have been handed to you. The tank is full. Your tree-esque man is standing in the water waiting for you to figure out what you're going to do. What happens next?
So I have the keys in my hand.
Yes.
Okay.
You get to drive the boat, not the car.
Well, because I
Remember that.
wanted to say, like, so I specifically asked for your shittiest boat. You sure this is it?
The guy looks you dead in the eye, flips you off, and walks back into the building he came from.
I think I just gotta toss my keys up and be like, "All right, boys, hop in." And I'm just gonna disregard that.
But. Rob, how the hell do you get in a boat from chest deep water? What's your character gonna do? Paint me a picture. Don't you pretend to be tired. It's 3 a.m. here, bitch.
Well,
No, I'm not tired. I'm just trying to think how the fuck I'm gonna do this.
Well, I'm assuming that if he can travel easily through water, I'm guessing he can probably stand on top of the water and step into the boat.
No, he weighs too much. However, if he
I'm not
wants to,
Jesus. Yeah, I'm
if he
not
wants
Jesus.
to
I'm not
teleport
tree
to where the
Jesus.
water is pooling in the bottom of the boat, maybe that works.
There's
I was
some algae at the
hoping-
bottom of the
No, he's
boat.
not
I'm
familiar
right on that
with it.
algae.
I'll say, like, here's my hope, because I don't know exactly what this guy can do, but I think Bernard's just gonna get in and
The teeny tiny ladder at the back that just has like one rung that like you lift it up and it drops in the water,
Yeah.
and he's like, "Good luck."
Dude,
yeah, I'm
I'm
just envisioning like he's just sitting there, like, okay,
I'm more worried about the fact that we're both very large and weigh about 500 pounds combined, plus his 400 pounds he probably weighs. I don't think his boat's gonna handle that. If it's already taking on water, we're fucked.
I guess maybe instead of getting on the boat, Sam, if you would let me, for character flavor, do some fly to just kind of stay beside, like a nice slow flight down the.
Just like a traverse kind of thing through the water.
All right, you can stay close to the boat while remaining in water.
Close-ish, yeah.
As you guys continue out, the sun has gone beneath the horizon. You are out in the bayou within about an hour or
so
so.
he's just taking us where we want to go, right?
Yes.
You're
Okay.
driving.
You're
Yeah.
driving. You are
Well, that's what I was
headed.
gonna say. Like, are we out of the water? Because I want to imagine that I'm still just like turning the wheel like we're going. Like I'm. like,
Oh yeah, you're driving the boat. You're out
like
in the
whether
water.
or not
You're going.
it matters, I'm just like,
Oh no, this isn't a wheel. This is one of those old stick.
is it a whole? Like, I didn't know what we had, so we just
Because
gotta-
you've got like. Oh god, that's a good question. Like what kind of boat? Most
Dude,
likely,
it's
you're
small
looking at
I-
like
Take
an
it
old
all.
I imagine it's
metal
a fan
motorboat.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like an old fisherman's boat.
Okay.
That's a good question. That's a good point. Yep, you've got motor stick in the back. You've got one or two extra containers of gasoline. We were informed that you may need more than a traditional tank full. You are following this map. You have some experience with maps. You're good. I mean, you're not going to get lost. You are going out to an area probably about a mile to the east of where you found Orpheus. Still in the bayou. Lots and lots of water.
Okay.
In this area, as you begin to approach, it is past nightfall by far. You are crouching on the 9-10 o'clock at night area of time. In the distance, a ways, you can see a light. It is faint. Almost when you look directly at it, it disappears. But there is an unknown light source out there. What do you do?
Well,
Pretty bad situation.
All right, what you got?
Nine.
Okay.
Are there any unknown dangers? think that was one of them. Was it? Any dangers we haven't noticed? That's the one I was looking for.
What's the best way in? What's the best way out? That's. Are there any dangers you haven't noticed?
Yeah, that's what I'm most concerned about at the moment.
At this distance, you are not picking up on anything that is around your boat. You probably have a mile and a half to get to this dot on your horizon in the water. But at the moment, you can tell that this light is what you are on your way to.
Okay.
You get that feeling that, nope, this is it. This is our past Mama's light, this ghost lantern illuminating in the distance. But in your current situation in your boat, the biggest threat to you is probably the edges of this shitty rusty boat giving Bernard tetanus. Are you currently up to date on your shots?
I was literally just going to ask him that.
I would think it would be somewhat company policy that I kind of have to be. Like,
Probably, yeah.
you know what I mean? Like
I would probably
This
assume
is-
that
Would
as
you
well.
lie to avoid the needle?
I mean,
Would you
Religious
get a fake
exemption.
card to avoid
we
the
did kind of talk about.
vaccination?
I don't think it would be religious. I don't think he. I think Bernard would be open to all because, like I said, I think he's.
He's seen enough shit that he knows that
Yeah.
it's the stupid shit that's gonna kill him, not the
Not
the
not
monster.
Yeah.
the issues.
All I gotta do is get a fucking shot of a thing, and then I get to go fight some crazy monster. Like, sure, fine, that's fine.
All right, that's fair. You're up to date.
Good.
Good. You guys are headed toward a light. It's off in the distance. What do you want to do? Is it just beeline? Are we talking come in from an angle? Do we put our feet on solid ground? Or is it there is a light by the shore? I just want to figure out what the hell's going on. There's so little information. What do we do?
All right, to me, I think I want to look to our shrubbery friend.
Shrubbery.
Me.
And I said, I want to look to him, and I want to say, Orpheus, I'm fairly sure neither of us know what exactly is going on here. But I have a pretty good feeling that you'll know more than I do. You know what the fuck that glowing light out there is? And I want to appeal to his... I don't know. He's much more attuned with nature than I am, and I feel like if there's anything he can do to roll or find out what's going on out there, maybe I'm leaving too much, but I do not just want to beeline.
That's fair.
I want to find out what I'm dealing with, and I think he's our best chance at that.
I only figured you would beeline because you you said he's the guy that just charges head first.
For sure. Oh, for sure. I think normally, but right now,
But I think he's out of his element here.
Yeah,
so
it's
he's
just-
gonna
it's
be a
just
little more reserved.
midnight in a boat, like we could get eaten by a fucking crocodile right now.
Yeah,
No, that's fair.
Like,
that's all right. We got the guy that weighs the same as a duck next to us.
True.
We're good.
Yeah, fair.
I guess, Sam, I would want to know if you would continue to maybe let me fly close enough stealthily, and the trees have eyes.
I'll let you trees have eyes, but I would rather you stay at that distance because you're in kind of
Okay.
unfamiliar territory, and there's
Okay.
nobody there that you are personally
Familiar
involved
with.
with enough to have a reasonable, like
Okay.
your territory. Yeah, anywhere in that radius you're in. This area, no, you're outside of home base. You are
Right, I'm out of my comfort zone.
uncomfortable by your lack of familiarity here.
Okay.
You're not in your swamp. You're in.
Am
a
I-
different swamp.
Is this light in the water? Is it on the ground? Is it? Can I tell exactly?
I mean,
where
it's a few
this
feet
light-
above ground. It appears from the distance. I assume you continue to move forward. I bet you're still probably, like I said, about a mile and a half away. You're moving forward. It is up off of the water. It is. It would appear, if you were closer or had binoculars, to be a woman-esque shape holding a lantern at about chest level above the water.
I mean, the reason I ask, you can touch an object made of a natural material such as wood, stone, blah, blah, blah.
Mhm.
So, if stone is a natural material, would water be a natural material?
For our purposes, we will say that water's memory is too short for you to actually be able to access that. It doesn't last. It's constantly moving. So no.
Okay.
And for posterity's sake, I did not say that I have been carrying that bag that what Teresa said she gave me. Is that something that I can just say that I've had because it was given
Yeah.
to me?
Yeah,
It
you
was a gift.
attached it to your belt or put it in your pocket
Okay,
or something.
cool.
I have no problem with that.
Cool.
There's no
And,
reason you wouldn't have unless you specifically said, I don't
Right.
need that shit, and threw it on the ground or
That's
some
kind of what I
crap.
was thinking. It was gifted
No.
to me. I didn't know what we were walking into, but I wanted to. All right, said my piece. We can go.
I guess I would assume that there's some type of algae or lily pad or seaweed or some type of flora between me and the light that I could maybe tap into the root system of. And
Okay, what's your ability say?
you may touch an object made of a natural material such as wood or stone and conspicuously mark it. At any point, you may tune into this object, hear, see, smell out of it, but losing all other senses. This effect may be magically dispelled if detected. You may only have one effect active at a time.
I feel like you would have had to have already been there and touched a tree, is what it's saying.
It's more of a keeping an eye on a place you've already been than it is
Okay.
sending out a tendril to figure out what's there.
Okay. Can't help you guys.
Unless your ass can touch a bird, which, if somebody can catch a bird, I'm not horrified with the idea of you sending it, but it
A
is
crane
nighttime.
would be great. Yeah.
Boat continues to trug forward.
I think I'm saying like, hopefully, can I get you just to say like in character like
Yeah.
like whatever it is that however you would like to say that I can't help you.
These waters are out of my grasp. There is nothing I can do to help us here. Perhaps if there was another way, but I do not see how I can be of more assistance now.
All right, I think Bernard just kind of. I assume his shotgun was already ready to go. I think he just raised it, and he's just like, "All right, well."
All right, we going in close. What are we doing? How are we handling this as a group? What are you thinking? All three of you need to give me the go-ahead. Yes, Bernard is driving. Yes, he gets ultimate say. But now we're all involved. Now we've got three minds working toward the same goal. What happens next? You guys are closing in on a light. It is becoming more and more visible as you get closer. It would appear to be a woman standing on the edge of a bank, somewhat on water level of a hill of sorts. The hill behind it, trees, grassy stuff, maybe some rocks. She is standing there. Her shape is, we'll say, a little odd, but then again, interpretation of ghosts. There's long, dark hair that runs over her face. There's no features there. And there is something of a light source, maybe chest height. Almost as if she's holding it like a basketball in front of her chest. Almost the way the arms appear to be pressed against the body and holding it in place. It has a bluish-green luminescence to this light. It is not a clean human light that you would expect.
And I can roll for this if I need to. Any indication she notices us?
I would definitely like to investigate it as well.
It's time to investigate a mystery.
Okay.
Yeah.
one of those is weighted to be a 6 every fucking time. I don't even give a shit, dude.
Hey,
It's a
my last one was a 5 and a 3. so it's
7.
not-
Oh, every once in a while the weights don't get it right. I just rolled an 8. Okay, they can't fail. You guys are dicks. I swear. I don't know where you bought them, but it is what it is.
Which?
So that was my sharp, which was I think it's 0 or something. Yeah. So a 7.
Aren't you going to ask me a question? What? Throw something out.
I think if my question is what I asked originally. Is there any indication that she has noticed us?
Nope. She appears to be paying you no mind. She is just standing there, sort of staring out in front of her, best you can tell. Her hair is kind of weird, but it's, I don't know, ghost shit, maybe? She's not see-through. I mean, she's solid, as far as you can tell. But no, she doesn't appear to be noticing you.
Okay.
So now you guys are creeping up. We're talking less than a football, 50 yards away. She's not turning towards you. The light's not facing you. She's not about to Kareem Abdul-Jabbar pass to you with this lantern. She's just standing there. Every once in a while the wind hits her. Every once in a while you get kind of a weird humming vibration sensation through the water. That's what you got.
I was gonna try to investigate it as well. I rolled a 6. I'll be honest.
Okay, tell me first. Second, get your experience. And third, you forgot how to breathe for a minute. No, alright, mark your experience. You failed to investigate a mystery. You have not traveled in the water like this very often. You are more or less playing a floating log holding onto a boat. You aren't taking a lot of information in. This isn't your swamp, and you have literally lived in the same, 3-mile radius for the last 200 years. You have taken in a lot of new information in the last 24 hours, and it's hard for you to focus right now.
Fair.
Marcellus, you're the only person who hasn't investigated. Are you waiting, or do you want to go now? I don't
No,
mind either way.
I was just waiting for everybody else's to be done.
Okay,
Used to turn order still, so.
it's fair. Surprise. They rolled well.
A 9.
You rolled a 9. Oh, you get to ask me a
One
question.
question.
One question.
Oh, jeez.
Remember what you are. Remember the questions that opens up to you.
Do I hear anything abnormal in the surrounding area?
All right, well done. Well done. You can hear a heartbeat, and it's a big one.
How's that for a cliffhanger? Thank you so much for joining us for episode 3 of Anarium. Come back in 2 weeks to find out what that heartbeat belongs to and how our boys decide to handle the situation. Delicately, I'm sure. In the meantime, head over to our friends at 80s I don't know why this is a tongue twister for me. 80s Tabletop Role-Playing channel on YouTube. I'll put a link in the description for you. And please, go leave us a review on iTunes. Helps us find new listeners. Happy Halloween, everyone. Stay spooky.